Hi, I'm Kelly Kozole. I've been with the Lions for 20 years and I'm the Senior Vice President of Business Development.
Welcome to Women in Football presented by Priority Health. I'm Dannie Rogers, and we are practically wrapping this series up. Kelly Kozole joins me now, and Kelly, 20 years ago, you came aboard the Detroit Lions organization in a different role. So how did your journey lead you here to the NFL and working with Detroit?
Well, I grew up right here in Sterling Heights, Michigan. I went to Stevenson High School, and my family actually owned and operated a hotel and restaurant, so I learned all the facets of the hospitality, restaurant, and lodging world. After that, I went to Michigan State and got a degree in business with a hospitality background. Then I moved to Atlanta with a couple of girlfriends after college and actually started a high-end catering company for a group of high-end restaurants. So after that, I was working, and one of my good friends called and said, "The Lions are building a new stadium, you should apply." I sent my resume and I think flew up here in a week and been here ever since.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Your first role was a manager of events. So how did being in that role eventually propel you to Senior VP of Business Development that you're in now?
Well, the events department is it's a great department to learn multiple facets of the sports world from the business side. So, example, we have Kenny Chesney coming up in August, and what it takes to put something like that on, it actually takes a year or more in planning. So you're working with the operations team and the facility team to design, what does the floor look like? What does the stage look like? Then you're working with the box office and the marketing team to build the show, promote the show, the corporate comms team. And then once it gets closer to the show, you're working with security, housekeeping, parking, retail. There's so many different components that maybe not everyone realizes when you're putting on a show for 50,000 people. It gave me a great foundation that I worked with multiple departments to then use all those learnings on the Lions side.
Kelly, what does a day in the life look like?
A day in the life for me is a ton of meetings. It is very fast paced. It's always different, which is great. One day I could be meeting with our business strategy and ticketing team we just launched our Lions Loyal membership ticket renewals for the next season for the Lions. So we could be planning, what does that look like? What the new benefits we want to add? I could be meeting with our marketing team on digital content like this series, or what does our team intros look like? Or what do we want game day to feel like for this season? I could be meeting with our events team on concerts like I just talked about, or citywide bids that we're trying to bring to the city of Detroit. So it's exciting because it's always different, but it is definitely fast-paced. Mm-hmm. Not for everybody, but I enjoy it.
Kelly, all of your social media pages reflect another passion of yours as a rare disease advocate. So who inspired you to take on that journey?
Our daughter, Morgan, just turned 7, and she has an extremely rare disease called BPAN, which is only about 500 people have in the world, and it's a life-threatening disease. And what was even more devastating to hear that she has this rare disease, but also that there's no cure and no therapy. So it's really heartbreaking as a parent to hear that there's no options for your child. So my husband and I formed a 501c3 called Don't Forget Morgan, which our sole purpose is to raise awareness and funding so that we can provide researchers grants so that they can study BPAN and hopefully find a cure for Morgan and all kids that are impacted with BPAN.
Over $900,000 have been raised to hopefully one day find a cure. So how has your role in the NFL aided with sharing Morgan's story and then, of course, raising funds to gain more research on BPAN?
I'm really grateful for my role at the Lions, and I credit it honestly with a lot of the reasons why we were so successful in such a short time. I have built great relationships internally and externally with people that have really helped us on our journey to find a cure, and the kindness of the Ford family and Rod and his family sorry, I always get emotional because we are really a family, and it's been very, very great to work here and see the support that they've given us.
Mm-hmm. If someone wants to get in contact with you or help Morgan, how can they do that?
We have a website at don'tforgetmorgan.org where people can learn more about BPAN. They can read stories of other families that are impacted with BPAN. We have some merchandise available. People can donate. We also have a link to the NFL auction where there's some auction items available that people can bid on.
You have quite the inspiring story of being a VP in the NFL as well as being a mom and an advocate for your daughter, Morgan. So specifically, how important is it for there to be women in leadership roles, not only with the Detroit Lions, but with the National Football League as well?
I think in any industry, obviously, it's helpful just to have a diverse, workforce. And within that, you can have multiple diverse opinions that help you make, even small or large business decisions. So hopefully people see that here at the Lions, because obviously my story with being a working mom with a child with special needs is unique. And it gives me a different perspective on things when we're planning on, well, how are guests going to come into Ford Field, and to try to really help with every detail so that their experience, whether they're attending a Lions game or a concert, is really enjoyable and that they want to come back and see us again.